Good evening, guys. Welcome back. It's time for our other semi-final in the winner bracket. It's going to be Na'Vi up against Team Virtus Pro, two of the top dogs in the Eastern European scene. This is your Tech Labs, essentially your finals for the year for 2013. They've had various LAN tournaments throughout the year, and this is what it comes down to, the big $25,000 finals between Na'Vi, Virtus Pro, Team Empire, as well as Power Rangers. I'm Gods. Joining me, of course, is Winter, as LD has left me for this match. But Winter, how are you doing, man?
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. You've been casting a bit with me. We were over in Southeast Asia, Manila, not long ago for the GMPGL, but what we haven't done is actually cast some Western Dota in a while.
Yeah, I think the last time was some online tournament like 1 or 2 months ago.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe back in like some of the We Play matches or something some time ago. But yeah, it's definitely been a while since I think you've been joining us in the cast. So we've got Na'Vi versus Virtus Pro, our first semi-final. Empire managed to 2-0 Power Rangers, although there were two very close games. Na'Vi, the definite favourites coming into this match, as well as this tournament as a whole. They've been playing really well and are looking good, moving towards some of the big competitions coming up like MLG Columbus. But Virtus Pro, for a while, they've kind of been like the punching bag of Europe. Like, these guys have been struggling, despite how good their roster looks on paper.
Yeah, the constant roster changes, I don't think it's helping them too much. They've been experimenting with three players already, right? Blow.
Yeah.
The last one was Gobla. I don't know, 3 to 4 people have
Their
been
initial
changed.
their initial roster they like stuck with for a good I feel like 3 or 4 months, but they just did not have very good results or performances. Like when they initially formed their new roster, it looked really strong when they had Resolution as well as Goblak, but it did not work out well at all. But it seems now this roster now seems to be seeing some small improvements. They managed to beat Evil Geniuses. They're just looking all around a lot stronger right now.
Yeah, having all those names doesn't really help if the team can't work
Yeah.
together. All the problems they have, arguments and stuff like that.
Too much ego. Too many chefs spoil the soup, as I butchered
Yeah,
that
I
analogy.
I know that really well.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be Navi's a team definitely full of stars, but not so much like that's not really how this team started. Like this is not a team full of lots of big egos fighting to have their ideas heard. This is just a team that really fits well together. I mean, Puppy in the captaincy, everyone just fits in this lineup perfectly. And Navi, to me, looking like one of, I mean, next to Alliance, this is those two teams without a doubt are the two best teams in the world right now.
Yeah, and I think it's been really long when I see someone play against Navi and they ban the Chen and Enchantress as the first two bans. And even in the new patch, Chen and Enchantress are severely, I would say, not as strong as it used to be because you have to share the experience if someone comes and harass you. So I'm not really sure what's the reason behind banning these two heroes in the patch right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot more bounty hunter to deal with these junglers. I guess the option is there. I mean, to just ban out the bounty hunter as we've seen Navi do, but it seems like they really don't want to give Navi the jungler. Teams have been banning out Chen here and there, but banning out both Chen and Enchantress, that's going to the next extreme.
Yeah, and it's really weird because most of the game I've been watching recently has been Clockwork plus Timbersaw in the first two ban phase, and these two heroes has been
Yes.
missing from the first big phase and has been missing from the first ban phase.
Yeah,
Nobody wants
in the
them.
Navi Alliance Grand Finals for We Play, Clockwork was picked up in a lot of those games and almost always picked up in the first picking
It was
stage.
picked up. Yeah, it was picked up every time it wasn't banned, and it's always in the first phase.
Yeah. But it seems Navi treat Virtus Pro maybe a bit differently to Alliance. It's definitely a thing where, depending what team you're versing, you'll draft your bans as well as your picks may be slightly different.
Yeah, but those two heroes are generally the strongest offlaners right now. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe for Virtus Pro they have Elder Titan as their offlane. They don't really need another offlane hero. So probably in that sense I can understand, but Navi doesn't have their offlane hero yet.
Well, both Clockwork and Timbersaw are still in the pool, so I imagine they may just pick one up regardless, unless they want to run something like an offensive dual lane or trial lane with a lifestealer, get something like funny because his Clinks is still in the pool and something for the safe lane. But both Timbersaw and Clockwork still there. And I'd be surprised if Navi doesn't pick up at least one of those two heroes.
Yeah, talking about Klings, the last game Power Rangers versus Empire. That's some Klings play there.
Yeah, that was a game which looked like was going to be out of Empire's hands. It really seemed like Power Rangers had that game won, but somehow Silent managed to turn it around with his Clinks.
Yeah, and there comes the Clockwork there,
Okay.
but not to Spincer.
good against like isolating heroes like Lich. I mean, just all around, it's always seems to be a great pick. Having an initiator on your team who's great in the laning stage, great in the mid game, and even late game, having a stun which goes through BKB, just cancel TPs as well as just cancel channeling spells is always great.
It's also a
10
really great
seconds
mode of
remaining.
transportation for the Lifestealer.
Oh, yeah.
I think not many teams have been
5
using
seconds
that.
remaining.
You know, most of the time you see either Storm Spirit or Puck, but Clockwork is actually a decent initiating
Reserve
transport for
time.
Lifestealer.
Well, as for Virtus Pro, they've got Lich and Elder Titan here, not really revealing too much about their lineup. None of their like real tempo controls. They haven't shown their carry. Elder Titan does give you some extra damage output in fights, but they haven't really got too much actual DPS just yet.
Yeah, I actually feel that after seeing the Elder
Navi's
Titan first
turn
pick
to
from
pick.
Virtus Pro, usually Elder Titan is extremely good against Lifestealer, and going for the Lifestealer right after the Elder Titan seems really
Yeah.
not the best choice for me. But as if you're Navi's team captain, you're thinking about Horvath, he likes to go aggressive all the time. And Lifestealer has been I think his best hero is actually Lifestealer.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm not sure. Maybe the stats don't fully agree there, but it definitely is.
Lifestealer,
10
it's either the
seconds
Lifestealer or
remaining.
the Alchemist. Those two carries just gives him that
5
get out of jail
seconds
spells. Like
remaining.
you can infest and get out of sticky
Yeah.
situations. As for Alchemist, is the high movement speed and the HP regen,
Reserve
so he
time.
can play extremely aggressive. That's why I personally like to see him on these two heroes
The,
rather
we
than
the Weaver
a
as
hero
well
like
is
a
quite
Gyro.
nice. I like
Yeah,
like him on the
Weaver is
Weaver.
the same thing as well. Yeah, I agree.
But it's gonna they go straight into the lifesteal. It's definitely like it's a Navi thing. Like other teams are not picking this hero up in the first picking stage as much. They're picking up maybe third or fourth, if at all.
I actually think that Lifestealer has a lot of ways to be dealt with in the latest patch. Especially like there's always the Venomancer, but Navi already picked up the Venomancer with the Lifestealer. But Lich King is also one of the very good ways to deal with the Lifestealer with the Frost Armor.
Yeah, it seems there are just becoming more and more decent counters, and teams are just picking
10
up better,
seconds remaining.
or more different,
They're
more
actually,
versatile
Virtus
drafts.
Pro's
they're
turn
actually
to
picking
pick.
up all the counters to Lifestealer. Just
Here I
Bane,
am.
Yeah.
Clockwork is decent against Lifestealer,
Navi's
Venomancer as
turn
well.
to ban.
So the
Well,
idea of Navi is I pick Lifestealer and I pick all the counters to Lifestealer to accompany the draft.
do you think they're? I think that. Do you feel like they're picking them for that reason, or do you feel like it's just because they want these heroes there?
Virtus
Probably
Pro's
it's just
turn to
part of the
ban.
reason, but
Yeah.
Venomancer and Clockwork actually work really well with the Lifestealer because
Yeah.
like Veno just provides the great laning presence that Lifestealer needs to set up a kill. And during the mid game, Veno can always defend the towers and slow down the pace for Lifestealer if you want to bring the game late and you want to
10
buy time for the
seconds
Lifestealer to
remaining.
farm up his secondary damage items like Abyssal, Monkey King Bar.
5
And Clockwork is
seconds
just generally a
remaining.
great initiator like you mentioned, just for the Lifestealer to start the fight out.
Well, we've got
Reserve
Navi's
time.
two supports now. They haven't got their solo mid hero for Dendi yet. They still need a solo mid of some
Navi's
kind.
turn
You
to
just
pick.
want them to pick the SF.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was thinking somehow I had SF in my head. I feel like they do need some more damage output. They need some kind of a Dendi mid hero, which is right now it's just the Lifestealer as their only core hero.
I actually think they might go for Invoker because of the fact that Invoker is really good in this situation against Lion plus the other Titan. These two heroes, the crossbacks Invoker is really good. Even the Exalt Invoker is really good against them because you can just send the Forge Spirits against the Lich and the Lion. These two supports are just helpless against the Forge Spirits.
Yeah. Uh-oh. We may not be... Is your Dota 2 still going? Because mine may have just crashed. It's
I actually saw the last pick is a Storm Spirit.
for Navi.
Yeah.
Dendi Storm Spirit. Okay. Well, I need to quickly restart my Dota 2. It's frozen, apparently.
So that's the other form of transportation that the Lifestealer need.
Yeah, having two options for the lifesteal is also great because it keeps Virtus Pro guessing as to which of those two heroes it's going to be, which the lifestealer will be inside. As, we
Yeah,
just reload
sometimes
up
teams
Dota
just
2.
anticipate too much when you have a Storm Spirit and the Lifestealer, where the Storm Spirit is only the mode of transportation. Every time the enemy team sees the Storm Spirit moving around, they actually think that the Lifestealer is inside. But sometimes you can just leave the Clockwork on somewhere dangerous and bait him with the Lifestealer inside and possibly create a good opportunity for a team to counter gank. So I actually like the pickup here.
Especially
even though
if the Storm needs to like farm a bit and catch up. That's where the Clockwork and Lifestealer may be ganking the mid lane while Storm farms a bit more and just looks to get himself a bit more.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, Storm Spirit can be a really strong late game hero if he's given the opportunity to farm up 2 or 3 items. And when he has a lot of items means a lot of mana. A lot of mana means the Storm is gonna do a huge loads of damage in a fight.
10 seconds.
Well, we'll
remaining.
get ourselves into the last pick here for Virtus Pro. They've got... It looks like their support's
5
mostly in
seconds
handle.
remaining.
Lich, I guess,
10
could be the
seconds
offlane. They're going to pick up
remaining.
another core hero. It's going to be the
Ah.
Viper.
I like the Viper pickup. Viper is one of the few strong counters towards lifesteal, and he got buffed where the corrosive skin is global. That's really fun.
Yeah, against stuff like Rocket Flare and these annoying.
Yeah, and not to mention the cooldown of the poison attack. That's really good as well. No cooldown at level 1.
Yeah, it definitely makes him a much stronger hero in a lot of ways. That's going to be played by Blow Your Brain, it looks like. So he's going to be possibly on a safe lane Viper. I imagine this is just going to be some kind of a dual lanes here. It looks like an Elder Titan solo mid and maybe some dual lanes.
I actually think it might be a Mirana plus Lich off lane.
Yeah.
Lion plus the
Viper.
Elder Titan maybe, or Viper. Either way, they can have the Elder Titan solo mid as well.
Okay.
They really have a lot of options on how do they place their lanes. All are really viable choices for Virtus.pro.
Prepare for battle.
All right, well, we'll introduce our two teams here in our Game 1 of the winner bracket semi-final for TechLab Cups. It's going to be Dendi playing the solo mid Storm Spirit for Team Na'Vi of Kuroki, playing the Bane in the safe lane, it looks like. Puppy heading down bottom as well on the Venomancer, Funnick on the Clockwork, then that finally leaves Havost playing the Lifestealer.
And for Team Virtus.pro on the Dire side, we have Light of Heaven, the former Navi player on the Elder Titan. Virtus.pro G, God Kill Them All on the Mirana, ars-art on the Lion, and as the captain on the Lich. And we have the final addition to the team recently, Blow Your Brain as the Viper.
Okay, so he's got a Wraith Band first item with his Tango, so looks like it's going to be G possibly soloing mid. He's also got Wraith Band, but he's being pulled regen, so we'll have to see exactly who's going to be mid, whether it's the Viper or the Mirana, but for now, Elder Titan, Light of Heaven with the Lich, so solo mid looks like it may be G.
I think the Mirana, Mirana is definitely going mid. And they're going to run a Lich plus Elder Titan off lane with the Viper and Lion on the safe lane.
I quite like this. Mirana could have gone bottom, but the Elder Titan just a bit more tanky and durable here, so he can
I think I prefer to have the Elder Titan on the off lane because Elder Titan versus Storm Spirit, it's not really that of a good matchup,
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah, this is a 1v1 matchup which will be a lot more balanced in the mid lane, and if G does get some good last hits going, he can almost look to beat Den in the mid lane. With one rotation from a support hero like the Lion, he's got a smoke here, and with just Lion rotating mid, the new Hex and maybe one point in Impale, he can easily kill Dendi early on.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
I think Mirana is a really good hero to deal with Storm before the Storm reaches level 6. With the recent buffs to his Starfall and Arrow, I actually think it's really easy for the Mirana to kill the Storm if the Storm makes a wrong move in the lane.
Yeah, because Storm always wants to like move forward to drop down his Remnant to actually help him out farm.
You want to be greedy and use your Remnant to farm, but if you don't have enough H people, he can just leap over and kill you.
This is going to be annoying for G though. This is essentially a dual lane mid. We're going to see the Bane come in, drop some Enfeeble. He's got a regen rune at top as well, and I think he may just stay mid because he's not. He can help out bottom for sure, but it seems like mid lane he may actually be more valuable.
I think this is a really good move from Navi, having the Bane harass the Mirana at the start, because Storm needs to have a good start, like I mentioned. If the early first 5 levels, he does have a good time, he's going to do a lot in this game. But if the first 5 levels he gets suppressed by the Mirana, his impact in the game will be very, very minimal.
Yeah, already 2 Enfeebles being used. Then the Bane picks up a regen root, and here's a 3rd Enfeeble.
Oh my god.
He's just
this
got
guy, if
two
this is a pub game, gods, like spam report.
Yeah. Well, G's still managed to get 2 CS with a deny as well, so the Enfeeble's making his time harder there, but still not impossible. Dendi's doing a good job though with the last hits, as you'd expect and hope, because he's got himself a nice bit of babysit coming in from the Bane. One more Enfeeble.
This is the 4th Enfeeble, right?
Yeah, 4 Enfeebles early on. Gee, this is rough, and Dendi is missing very few. He's only missed 1 CS so far.
Yeah, 11 out of 3 waves. 12.
Yeah, that's for a solo mid hero, that's just like unheard of. Like you would not get this good CS in a straight up 1v1 matchup.
Maybe if you're Mushi, maybe.
Yeah. Well, Dendi's probably the closest thing to Mushi there is.
Well, many people will argue about that.
Well, another time, Winter, another time.
Okay, if you look at the progression of the lanes, I think Clockwork has generally a really good time in the off lane right now. He's already up to level 3, and the dual lane by Virtus.pro is just both of them level 2 at the moment.
Yeah, they are sharing the experience a bit, and this is with the Lich also, getting the bonus XP from the sacrifice.
If you look at the last hits from the Lifestealer, and you compare it with the Viper on the enemy safe lane, they are both actually quite equal, and if you look at what Virtus.pro are doing, they are giving 2 heroes to pressure the Lifestealer. But the Lifestealer still has more last hits than the Viper, which is dealing against 1 hero.
Yeah, this is not what you'd expect with the Viper at top. There is some zoning out going on from the line here, but Viper just either not making all the last hits or just focusing too much on maybe the harassing aspect of this lane.
It's also because the creep equilibrium, the clockwork can always just disrupt it with the cogs early on. So, but I didn't really see what happened there. But most likely it's that situation, or he's just missing last hits.
So Puppey, he doesn't get his Chenna Enchantress. He's going to jungle with Venomancer. He's not gone for Gale. He's gone 1 point in Poison Sting, 1 point in Plague Wards. He is a jungle Venomancer right now.
Yeah, he always does this when he plays support as a tight hunter. He always does the small camp, the original small camp at this area.
Yeah,
before
this new medium camp here. Unless you get the mud golems or whatever. He's going to rotate now and kill the big camp, which is some good old hellbears, which will give him some good farming experience.
I think it's a really, really good time for him to farm right now, because if you look at the lanes, he's not going to do too much at his safe lane.
Yeah.
The Lich will always pull the creep wave back.
Leap in mid lane, arrow to follow, not going to land on Dendi.
Yeah, as I was saying, he doesn't really do too much in the off lane because the Lich has pulled the lane back, and it's better for him to just jungle. It's the same scenario as if you're a Crystal Maiden. You can use your Frostbite and just keep jungling when you can't really help out the lane, and it just gives you more in the long run, rather than just staying in the lane.
Yeah, it's not quite the same speed as the CM jungle, but not really far off it. It's very safe and jungle
I think
as well.
it's alright though.
Yeah, it's not
at least
slow
you
by
can
any
do it.
means.
Yeah, most of the supports will have a hard time at level 2 to jungle.
Yeah, Venomancer with the movement speed slow combined with the damage over time actually is a pretty good job at the actual jungling here. And
yeah,
we're going to see,
not to mention his stacks though, guards. The poison sting from your ward and the hero.
Yeah. We're going to see just a very passive early game laning stage, and this definitely looks to me like it favors Na'Vi. Like Virtus Pro, I feel like they need to be getting a bit more done with these lanes, especially considering Na'Vi are essentially outlast hitting them in most of these lanes as well. Lifestealer and Storm convincingly topping the CS. G really far behind, almost getting doubled in CS by Dendi, as you'd kind of expect with the Bane, but this is bad news for Virtus Pro.
Yeah, and the Clockwork is still having a decent time. He's going to be level 4.5 pretty soon, and it's by no means bad at all for offlaner.
Well, ars-art smoked up. He's looking to rotate towards the mid lane, I imagine.
This is the timing where you were talking about. They want to catch the Storm before he reaches 6, but
he's
going to
getting
get
his
his
6
level.
from the neutrals.
Yeah, he's going to get his 6 from the neutrals.
He knows the line's missing, and he's like, well, if I'm in the lane, I might get ganked out. Oh, there we go. He gets 6.
This is just really good play from Danny. He knows that this is the time where he will potentially be ganked and killed. As soon as he sees the lion off the lane, he just plays so safe. Oh, here comes ars-art.
There is a Hex into an arrow, maybe. Can they get this kill regardless? There's a Starfall to follow. A TP coming in. Dendi may go down regardless, but there's the zip out. He's going to survive this one. Bottles up.
They didn't do the combination properly. One mistake there was the Starfall didn't have to... the second damage from the Starfall didn't come because he wasn't near to Dendi. G wasn't near enough to Dendi. That was the fatal mistake.
They should have got that kill, it looked like. They even TP'd in the Lich for that one, and they don't get the kill. That is costly for Virtus Pro. That would have been a
I don't
first
think
blood
the Lich
as well.
had to come. Both of the heroes had enough damage to get the kill. They just needed to coordinate every small little detail correctly.
Well, Virtus Pro playing on the main stage
Dendi
here.
is coming top lane. Here comes Dendi. The first word. You don't kill him, he gets the first
Well,
word.
there is an invis being used here. Can he get out of this one? There's going to be at least one more remnant. He may survive this. Rocket Flare? No mana?
Oh, the clocks! They know
4 HP. He's TPing home. Both teams could have got a first blood. Na'Vi don't really mess that one up like Virtus Pro did.
That wasn't a mistake by any means.
No.
It was just a really good play by the Mirana having the ultimate up as soon as he saw his teammate got ganked.
The mid one, though, should have been VP's first blood.
Yeah, you could possibly say that the Storm should have brought a dust or something like that, but it was just a small little thing.
You're not expecting to really have to use dust that early on, and you're thinking, hey, we can kill him before the fade actually comes into play. Yeah, he's going to zip in. This should be your first blood. Oh, immediate Hex arrow to follow as well. Misses off target, and the zip to chase. Dendi going to get one more right click. He needs it on ars-art. ars-art, though, salve up, not enough. First blood to Dendi. That's a lot of gold going his way. Immediate clarity. Back towards the mid lane, and Na'Vi off to a great start.
Yeah, I was surprised that he still tried to hit the ward when the Venomancer plays like the wards. His plague wards on the high ground. ars-art was still standing there trying to deward, and he was just not afraid that the Storm might be nearby.
Yeah, that was very bold. I guess maybe thinking Dendi was either, or at least out of mana, because he'd only had the mana and was ready to come and do that because he found that double damage route. Like, after using up all his mana at top lane, maybe he thought he was safe.
he just took a huge risk there
Yeah.
by trying to deward, and he paid the price. The first bird is just so much gold, and the Storm
yeah.
Spirit had a great start. And Storm Spirit, if you have a great start plus the first bird, he's going to be a huge impact come 15 minutes in the game.
It feels like all three of Navi's core heroes having a great start. Hell, even the supports. But right now, your Life Stealer's got Midas up. He had like a 5.5 minute Midas. He's already got his boots. He's very close to the phase boots, and Navi just... Even Clockwork in the offlane, he's hit level 6. Funnick's going to be TPing bottom, and we're going to see possibly an Infest gang coming in looking for this Elder Titan, Light of Heaven.
Here comes. If they want to do it, they can possibly do it. But I think they should not do it because they have to leave one of the heroes to push out the lane so that it's not so obvious that they're trying to do something funny.
Well, Elder Titan may walk down forward here. Clockwork looking for the hook shot. Hasn't scouted him out just yet. Will do so now, I believe. Hook shot to set things up. Light of Heaven gets caught out. Havos needs a way in, though. There's an Invis once again being used. They've got no detection. Arrow going to follow. Oh, gets nicely sidestepped by Havos as well as raids up. Meanwhile, top lane, they were looking for a kill on top and they couldn't get it either. The Invis saves heroes in 2 separate lanes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, Havos the bottom.
Bottom lane. Havos gets caught out.
Hex Impale, they get the kill. ars-art TP bottom. When Na'Vi tried to gank him top, he was Invis and they just TP'd out.
Mirana.
That ultimate.
Mirana ultimate.
You know, that change when Ice Frog made it so Moonlight Shadow cost only 75 mana was...
75 mana, yeah.
was
the
such a good
75
change.
mana was the biggest help to it because Mirana doesn't have the huge mana pool to
It used to be what? Was it 150 or was it 200 mana?
Yeah, 150. Bottom lane TP in by the Storm Spirit.
Oh, Dandy's Invis here. Does he want to go on G? The Clockwork's actually caught out ars-art here. Now that comes the grip onto G. He's not going to go for him. Goes for the line said. Now switches to G, who's still going to leap here. Going to leap over the trees. Dandy. Oh, he's trying to chase, but doesn't have the mana to actually keep doing so.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think he could. I don't think they can get a kill. He's just going to outrun them. And talking about the situation before this, when mid lane, NS gets a kill on the Vino.
Looked like Puppy committed to the tier 1 mid tower, and NS.
He was just really low, and he died to one Frost Blast. And going back to the bottom situation where Funnick hooked into Light of
hook
Heaven.
shot mid. G may go down here. 3 seconds on his leap. One more right click from Funnick. He's going to get the kill. Oh,
They
Funnick.
keep fighting. I can't really finish.
Yeah. How does Venomancer get that kill? What? Puppy gets that kill?
The Vino Ward hit like the Mirana one time, and the Sting actually kills.
Okay. I just don't see the Venomancer water. It must have expired or something.
Yeah,
It's disappeared.
look at how Puppy skilled his Vino. No wonder he got the kill. He has 3 points in
gosh.
Sting at level 6.
This Vino build. Who needs Gale anymore?
Well, I still think you need 1 point in Gale.
Oh, it's a waste of mana, Winter. All your mana into Plague Ward. He's got Arcane Boots, so he's got all the mana in the world. But
50% slow, but I guess we'll probably see how the build works out. But I think one positive thing about this build is you farm really quick in the jungle.
Yes. If you're playing like the Vino as like a jungler here, because he's got Arcane Boots and Buckler at 10 minutes in. Of course, he did get the tier 1 mid tower, which helped out for that as well. But this is a lot of farm for a support hero.
I have to go back and try which build is the best right now. This is really puzzling that he's going for this build without the Gale. Usually you see at least 1 point in Gale.
Yes, I mean, it doesn't feel like Gale is that good at level 1 anymore. It's just so slow. It doesn't actually do any damage.
It's a really good slow, 50% slow for 15 seconds.
Well, you can continue now. I don't know what you were trying to say before, Winter, but it looks like the action has died down.
I still remember. It was when Funnick hooked into Light of Heaven at bottom and they used Moonlight Shadow to save the Elder Titan. I felt that Funnick could have just broke one of the cogs so that Hovers could have went in and just get a couple of right clicks in. And Hovers actually had Infest, so there was another form of damage as well there when they couldn't see the Elder Titan. So as long as he got like 2 to 3 right clicks off the Elder Titan, 1 Infest would have definitely killed him.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I was actually thinking something similar at the same time. ars-art now going to TP bottom lane. He's up to level 5. Moonlight Shadow to initiate. This could be trouble for Havos. He is not going to see them come in. He has not realized that Moonlight Shadow has been used.
Mirana's TPing in as well.
Oh, this should be an easy kill. The Chain Frost even used.
This is just very, very good usage of the Mirana ultimate. This is by far the best I've seen the team being able to use the Mirana ultimate as soon as she got level 6 so effectively throughout the game.
Yeah, the Chain Frost there maybe not entirely necessary, but they wanted to guarantee the kill before Na'Vi could look to TP rotate. We are going to ban Kuroki in the river. They scattered the Invis room, which is going to get bottled up by G. G's player had a great game. He had the cards stacked against him in that mid lane when he got enfeebled something like 5 times in the first 2 minutes.
I think his only bad play was that he didn't get the first play because he didn't go near enough to the Storm to the ND to get the double damage from the Starfall.
Well, As things kind of even out here, it's 3 kills apiece. It's Na'Vi with a 3 to 4k gold lead, but some of that coming from the towers, a bit more of that coming from the farm and the Midas like they've got on Havos, but Virtus Pro still in this with a fighting chance.
Finally, I see a dust, but it's on Clockwork, not the supports.
Well, he's often the one initiating fights.
Clockwork and Storm Spirit has dust.
Yeah. I like this. I mean, these are the ones initiating and going for the ganks here. Puppy's just farming in the jungle. There's no real use to him having dust.
You know, you remember LD was talking before that the supports were buying, not the supports, the carries were buying smokes for the support, and now the carries are getting the dust as well. Mid lane.
Oh, zip in. Hook shot in onto G here. They're going to be a slow one.
Oh.
They'll get him. He can't actually get out of this one. Dendy going to come in as well. No Moonlight Shadow to save him this time. Not that it would have saved him anyways, but...
Well, he's been using it to save his team more.
Yeah. And Puppy got himself another tower. That was him getting the gold at bottom lane. Is this his mech or just his headdress? His headdress is coming out. His mech is in 100 gold.
He actually has it already.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's got it now.
Yeah, he already has it if he wants to. He definitely wants to. And the build is actually really paying off for Puppy. He's so rich.
Yeah, and his damage output with level 4 Poison Sting does so much damage over time.
Yeah.
You get hit by one of these wargs.
It's 300 damage from the actual hero Poison Stick if the Vino hits you one time.
Yeah.
And it's another 150 damage if the ward hits you one time. Not to mention the slow that stacks.
That is painful. This is
450 damage just from the Poison Sting.
Yeah. You get, like, at bottom lane, Lighter Heaven gets hit by one ward, and then he loses 150 HP about. Maybe a bit less after the magic resistance, but that is adding up very quickly.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't even care about Gale. Like, who needs Gale, like you mentioned? Gale doesn't do damage.
You max out this Poison Sting, and then suddenly you have a lot of... I guess if you max the Gale, it does damage. That's the other thing, but the Poison Sting is for farming as well.
He actually didn't max the ward, he maxed his Poison Sting, and he got his ultimate at level 8.
Dendy now in the jungle, scouts at a couple of heroes. Will back off for the time being. He's just got a haste rune. He's going home, it looks like, because he just used up all of his mana getting out of there.
Yeah, and Horus has his armlet, so this is going to be the time for them to strike.
Yep.
And imagine if he didn't die twice. The armlet would have come like 2 minutes earlier.
Yeah, that would have been a really scary notion here. Dendy's also up to 2k gold. We'll have to see what he looks to pick up. May just pick up his first Oblivion staff at this point, start building towards his Orchid. Definitely a game where you're going to need BKB eventually, but I don't know if you want to go BKB first.
I think if they want to really fight effectively as a team, BKB is a really crucial item for Storm Spirit this game. Because if the Lion is patient and he always just waits for the Storm to come in before he shows his face to disrupt the Storm will have no way of initiating. Because Storm is just so weak against Lion.
Well, Dendy smoked himself up here. TP top, and looks like Na'Vi want to go for this top tier 1 tower. They've taken all the other tier 1s, and this is something which Virtus Pro are really struggling to find a way to defend. They just don't have the land to fight.
They want to fight right now. Horus is even going for jumps after the armlet, so it means that they want to take the fight to Virtus Pro right now. They're done farming and they want to fight.
Into the Clockwork at bottom lane. They may actually just go for a pick off here, and ars-art is alone. He thinks Na'Vi are all at top, and boy, how wrong is he?
He's feeling something is wrong right now.
He just went back to the courier to pick up his TP. He may come back to the lane. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
He's revealed himself. Hook shot on the creep, Funnig. Oh, the Impale going to catch out just the Clockwork. Havos is going to get the kill anyways. Not going to matter. The Cogs just cover their chase. They back off. Meanwhile, top lane, Na'Vi.
They can go in on top.
Yeah, they've gone in on the Viper, but here comes the Elder Titan. He's looking for an ulti. Is it going to land on anyone? The Chain Frost is there. Kuroki going to get blown up. One kill going the way of Virtus Pro. It looks like it may be a second as Puppy.
Looks like he's in trouble.
He's already used his mech, and those right clicks, they hurt. Havos has no vision.
They need a dust.
Oh, they dust too late here. The Viper gets dust up as well. Can Havos actually finish him off? Dendy gets a kill, zips out. He still needs to zip even further. Lighter Heaven has no more Astral. He's going to look to TP out of this one, and Havos... What? TP cancelled. Lion was looking for a chain stun.
Because ars-art was coming in and they wanted to turn and try and
kill Have they spotted Funnick here? Funnick on the rotation. He will get spotted in a second. Dire Observer Ward sees him. You got to run, Funnick. No hook shot for the time being.
He's definitely safe in the... That's a really narrow entrance, and he can just call to block the entrance.
Yep. Well, an interesting exchange. I slightly favored to Na'Vi, especially with the Storm Spirit surviving that one, it seems, and they did end up killing off the Viper.
Yeah, it was a really good play by the Lich where the Bane gripped the Viper. He immediately used his Chain Force to cancel off the Fiend's grip from the Bane. So the Viper was actually able to survive that longer, so that they had to use more time to kill him, and they got a few more kills in return.
It was a 2-for-2 trade still, and with Na'Vi killing off the Viper and only losing their supports, it definitely does lean towards them winning that fight. But even at this point, losing Puppey is quite a big deal, because he's got a decent amount of farm and levels, which you're giving away.
I wouldn't consider him a support, to be frank.
It feels like the Clockwork is more of a support than Puppey at this point.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot about the patch. Oh, here comes Dandy.
They zip in. There's your Infest into Dandy. This time around it's on the Clockwork. It's in the Storm Spirit. They've mixed things up here. I don't think they can kill the Viper. It's a TP out from the Lifestealer. Zip out from Dandy. Between the Rage TP and the zip out from Dandy, killing these Na'Vi heroes after they dive you is damn hard.
Yeah, and at bottom lane, look at Puppey. He's actually zoning out G, the solo mid hero, out
That
of the lane.
is ridiculous. If you get hit by the actual hero with a Poison Sting, the damage you take is just crazy. And right now,
Yeah,
Rocket Flare,
basically 300 damage.
he's almost like
From
dying under his tower here. With the extra damage
Yeah.
from a Rocket Flare, it's scary. If Puppey gets a poison over on
Imagine
him.
if Puppey had a poison
Oh,
over, he would have
ars-art
killed
wants his
him.
kill. They pop the drum. Puppey may just turn this one around. He's got a poison over. They've got to chain stun him and kill him.
Yes, finger.
Okay.
Needed.
Dire's bottom
Yeah, if they didn't
tower
chain
is
stun him
under
there, he
attack.
turns around, poison sting with a ulti, and who knows what happens. But they do get the kill.
I know what was gonna happen if the ulti went off. Dead hero. Oh, here
Oh,
comes
hook
Funny
shot.
with a hook shot.
ars-art gets invis up here. Funny has got dust, may need to pop this one, does do so, and will get a kill. But it looks like he should pay for this with this life. Viper TPing in, has the ultimate, will use it, and Funny gonna go down. Easy kill for Virtus Pro. G getting the last hit with the arrow. Well,
That was still alright because they rotated heroes down,
Yeah.
even though it was a off lane for a support.
I mean, at this point, Clockwork's got most of the items he needs. He's got 600 gold, so he can pick up
Yeah.
the start of his whatever item he wants to go for.
Yeah, I think he's been moving around the map really, really well, Funny. Doing a lot for his team. And
Oh,
making
Na'Vi,
sure-
another gank. They're going in bottom lane. They pop the drum here. They want to get the Viper. The Poison
Can they
Sting.
get a slow? Can they get a slow?
They got it from the Poison Sting. The Open Wood is there as well.
the
Havos though
Viper's right.
ranges, but he's already being slowed here. There's not enough damage to kill the Viper. It looks like Havos now could be in trouble. He's got an Infest. He infests into Puppey. Impale, turn this one around. Havos, meanwhile, Soldier gets a kill on the Lich top lane, but we're watching bottom as Havos finishes off the line, moves onto the Mirana. Another Viper Strike coming out. The Aghanim Scepter is actually completed on this Viper, but he's taking a lot of damage from the Venomancer. Pops them back. Uh-oh. Oh no. Rocket Flare's there. Dead. And G taking a lot of damage as well. The double poison sting on him. This damage over time is just ridiculous. He's going to throw an arrow. He's going to be okay. He's looking for Puppey with this arrow. Not going to land. And top lane, it was...
I feel like changing my mind on the skill build of Vino right now.
Yeah. Top lane, Na'Vi got 2 kills. They killed Lich, Elder Titan, and got a tier 1 tower. So Na'Vi, not only were they winning that bottom fight, top lane as well, going convincingly in their favor. And suddenly Virtus Pro are put with their back against the wall. Havos all of a sudden like level 14. Na'Vi are all like in their... well into level 11 here. Meanwhile, Virtus Pro are struggling
one point I
behind.
would like to add is the heroes of Na'Vi, although they are mostly single target, they're actually really effective at doing small skirmishes, especially like Clockwork plus
Yeah.
Bane, or Clockwork plus Lifestealer, or Storm plus Lifestealer, or Storm plus Bane. They're really good at fighting 2 versus 2. However, for VP, their heroes are just more like fighting 5 versus 5 because just of how the formation works. So it's really good for Na'Vi to take all these 2 versus 2 small skirmishes.
It's a very, like, not that common that you see, like, such a big... Like, bottom lane, there was a big 2v3. Top lane was, like, a 3v2 for Na'Vi. This was just, like, very... Skirmishes going convincing in Na'Vi's
It's like
way.
the Clockwork hooking shot into one lane,
Yeah.
and top lane, a Storm is balling in.
Yeah, Na'Vi just have such great... They have great initiation and escape. That's the key thing. They can initiate into these fights, but then they can also get out without dying. Like, you've got Rage on the Lifestealer, you've got the mech on this early on a Venomancer.
Here comes, they're gonna meet Funny.
Cogs immediately popped in. Well, I think he's going to be okay. There's an infested life, so they do finish him off. Meanwhile, the Moonlight Shadow being used, but there should be dust here for Na'Vi. Have they actually popped it? No dust being used yet. I don't know if they've got vision. Now Chainfrost's going to bounce around. It's Kuroki and Puppey taking the blunt of this one. Havos, meanwhile, it's still bouncing around. Havos and Dandy both going to take a lot of damage. Na'Vi lose 3, but they've killed off 4. Maybe going to make it 5 here. G with an arrow. Kuroki going to survive this one with a brain sap. Team wipe for Na'Vi. What a just bloodbath here in the bottom jungle.
They were just lucky that the Chain Frost did so much damage, 10 bounces.
Yeah.
Without that Chain Frost,
It was
the
like
fight
a
would
5
have
for
been
1.
It would have been over for Virtus Pro, but the Chain Frost made the fight so close.
If it wasn't for the Chain Frost, they only kill the Clockwork, probably.
Yeah, probably just maybe the Venomancer as well, but nothing more than that.
Yeah, Lifestealer dying definitely was a bit of fortune going
He
away
was
of
like,
Virtus Pro.
the rage went off and the bounce was like
Yeah.
ping pong, and he died.
He cast the rage before the Chain Frost like even started, and then by the time the rage wore off, the Chain Frost was still going.
Yeah, 10 bounces. If you do the math, one bounce is 280 damage. That's 2,800 damage done by the Lich there.
Not bad for NS.
What
Life
spell
of a
does
support hero.
What spell does 2,800 damage at level 1? What ultimate, probably? There's nothing.
No, very little.
Maybe the Venomancer ulti if you hit 5 heroes.
Yeah. Vino ulti is
Shanking ultimate doesn't even... Yeah. I guess that's the spell that does the most. If you hit all the bounces.
yeah. I'm trying to do some mental math here, and it does look like it.
I can't really think of anything that does more than 2,800 at level 1. I need some
I think
help.
Vino ulti will come close. If it hits all 5 heroes, but that's not like it's also more over time. It's not like as fatal as a Lich ultimate.
Yeah, Lich ultimate is just it deals damage much faster, definitely compared to the Vino ultimate.
Then he's got a hex, by the way.
He doesn't even need the BKB.
Yeah, you get a hex this far. He just gives him the mana he needs to continually zip in and out. As long as someone's gone in on ars-art and he's not getting instantly hexed by the lion, and Dendy's just so careful about his positioning when he zips in. He's not going to zip in if lion might be there.
No one can stop him after the lion is dead or the lion uses spells. Apart from the arrow, which the possibility of that happening is really low.
Yep. Ooh, G gets spotted out here in the jungle. Do they look to go on him? Both Clockwork and Stormspirit not in the neighborhood, so doesn't look like it. They're going mid Navi.
Pushing both lanes, and Virtus Pro is only pushing one.
They'll get a tier 1 tower this one, but Navi may get 2 tier 2s. Well, Navi is split up though. They've got 2 mid, 2 bottom, but it's Clockwork in between who can either help out bottom or mid
how
lane.
they should play because their heroes are better at fighting separately.
NS, you gotta be careful. Funnick sees NS. He could go on the Lich here. He's not gonna do so.
Here comes the infest. Daddy is coming with
I heard the infest.
Are they gonna go in? Probably they'll try to down the tower first before they start the fight. Here comes the Mirana ultimate. Do they have a gem? Sentry?
They Navi and okay, they've got dust on Bane, but you really need sentries or something to deal with this. And Virtus Pro.
You need to see them. You need to see them.
Navi realize though something's up. They're backing off already. Funnick pops an invis. He's gonna walk into this. Haste and invis. That's a nice combo. He sees what's going on.
Here comes Funnick.
He's got no backup. Okay, he's got Dendy.
He should have been there.
That's a long zip from Dendy. He's very low mana. I think Navi need to get out of this one. Uh-oh. Dendy's dead.
That's not good.
4-star. Great 4-star out. That may just save Dendy's life. Not going to quite save his life. He almost got out. Oh no. Here comes the Venomancer. Poison damage. The Chain Frost starts bouncing. Is it going to keep bouncing? It stops. It only gets maybe 2 or 3 bounces. That's not going to be enough. Navi, though, they do lose Funnick as well on the Clockwork.
Another
Her Voss gets arrowed. The Starfall follow. Her Voss goes down. One right click from G. Great play from the Mirana. Now TP out from Puppey. Navi have actually lost this fight. Puppey going to just narrowly TP out.
He escaped.
I don't know how he did that, but Navi, that was...
The Amphiber, no wonder the Mirana didn't deal damage. He had level 4 Amphiber.
Oh my god. These arrows from G are just keeping Virtus Pro in this game.
Yeah, those arrows. That fight would... But however, I think that Navi went in like... It was really surprising they went in at that time because Veno was so far away from mid lane and the other guys were so far behind because Clockwork had a haste. He was running quickly in front. And by the time Storm zipped in, they were really out of position to fight. That was just a really bad fight taken by Navi.
Yeah, the rest of the Navi heroes could not keep up to the Clockwork and the Storm Spirit zipping. And
Probably if the mecha saves Dandy, they would have been able to fight back, but that was just a really bad initiation.
Who actually used the 4-star? It was the Bane. I think
the Bane.
That was so close to saving Dandy. He almost got pushed far enough out that it saved his life. That was... If that had saved Dendy and they turned that fight around, that would have been just an amazing play by Kuroki.
The next fight, Puppey would have his pipe as well. So Mecha and pipe, they have everything to counteract the Lich ultimate especially and the Elder Titan ultimate.
Well, Virtus Pro are going to have to be a bit careful these next couple of fights. The tier 2 towers at both bottom and mid have been taken. Navi are just taking towers one by one. They've got themselves a 12k gold lead right now.
Finally, they have a gem gods on Dandy. And Dandy is going to build towards a Blacking Bar as his next item.
No surprise.
So to avoid stuff like that happening, like the last fight.
The arrow, like surprise arrows, Lion coming in with Hex Impales. Like, if you get a BKB, you just go in on the line and kill him before the fight even starts, really.
Yeah, usually Dandy would not get hit by those arrows because he actually saw the arrow coming and he's a player with a really quick reflexes.
Yeah. I really... It must have been like just like somewhat camouflaged in the tree line or something, but... Dendy got caught by surprise by that one. Na'Vi in a good position here to maybe go for Roshan if they want to. They're pushing out some of these lanes here.
They have the gem to even control the whole map right now before they start to do anything.
Cool. Na'Vi,
They're gonna
Dendy,
just
yeah, they're going to
rotate.
D-ward now.
Yeah, they're rotating Horvos to clear out the bottom lane. Don't waste the farm at bottom. As soon as they control the whole map, they'll probably try to smoke gank or get the Roshan.
Yeah, they've already smoked up. They D-ward, and maybe they're trying to pretend that they are Roshing. So VP may be fooled by this one. If they try and stop Roshan, Na'Vi could just catch him by surprise. Puppey pushing out mid lane, but he's just revealing himself, and this is something which Puppey would do even if he doesn't have backup. So VP may be thinking, hey, let's go on Puppey. And right now, Puppey doesn't have backup.
I think they'll get the Viper right now.
Yeah,
He's alone. They know he's alone.
He's going to
most
TP
likely.
out. They haven't actually... Nope, they don't get the
Here
vision
comes the
they need.
Mirana ultimate. Here comes the Mirana ultimate. They're going to try to catch up Horvos. Horvos
I
doesn't
like
have
this
any
play.
true sight. Lion's going to hex him and he's dead.
He's backed off already, though. Havos, sensing something is up. He runs the right direction. He's going back into his own jungle. Arrow, not going to find him. I don't even think it gave vision of him, so... I like the Moonlight Shadow, but it just doesn't quite find Havos. Maybe if they were like a couple seconds earlier, they would have got him.
Yeah. Probably, but Horvos wasn't greedy in farming the next wave there. Or even trying to farm the Ancients.
When is Havos ever greedy, Winter?
He's always greedy.
No. I know. I'm kidding.
Probably there's only one person more greedy than him. That's Black.
Black when it comes to farming creeps. Havos is greedy when it comes to farming heroes.
Yeah, farming heroes. Yeah, true. That's actually a really good point.
Well, Puppey gets stunned up at mid lane. He's used mech and pipe here. Well, sorry, arcane boots and pipe, not the mech. The mech's on cooldown. Meanwhile, Lifestealer, Abyssal Blade completed. He's in the Roshan pit, and it looks like with the help of the Storm Spirit, they're going to easily bring down Roshan here. We'll have to see who they give the Aegis to. There's maybe saying they want to give to Dendy with the gem.
Look at what Na'Vi is doing. There are 2 heroes getting Roshan, 2 heroes pushing mid, and Clockwork's pushing.
The thing is, Virtus Pro don't know where these heroes are, so they can't really safely go on Funnick, because for all they know, it's Stormspirit and Lifestealer is sitting behind Funnick at top. But Funnick was completely alone. But it's just these mind games that Na'Vi are playing.
Yeah, here comes the Lifestealer inside the storm. They're gonna find a good pick-off here, and if they get any pick-off, it means they're gonna go high ground right after that.
Yeah, and maybe top lane. There's a
here comes the hook shot.
Yeah, hook shot onto NS. Immediate force up out, but this sets things up for Dendy. He's grabbed out. The chain throw's doing a lot of damage, though. This is going to follow Dendy. Okay.
He dodges the last bomb.
He's still got Hex, though. He may go in with this Hex. We'll have to see if he can find anyone here. The Fiend's Grip is there, goes on to G. The Hex is on Light of Heaven. Elder Titan can't actually do anything in this fight. Meanwhile, he gets cogged up. Should be focused down. Puppey in trouble, though. He's going to get taken out from the high ground. And Mirana still very low. The poison damage going to finish off G. 4 Virtus Pro heroes go down. Na'Vi finally seem to have broken Virtus Pro's backs here.
Yeah, how many times have you seen the poison taking down heroes and the Clockwork Rocket just gets the last hit?
Oh man, this new Venomancer is just a beast. This is like the substitute to a jungling Chenna Enchantress. You just put this sucker into the jungle.
Yeah, Horvos.
He's okay. Puts the armor on.
I thought he was gonna waste his
He took like no
there.
damage. He just heals it all up with some armor toggling.
Yeah, Virtus Pro after the last fight, I mean, just a huge deficit right now, and they don't really have a really superior late game to come back later on the game, so it's gonna be really difficult for them.
Yeah, Viper definitely not really a true late game hero. He sort of kind of shines around the sort of 20 to 35 minute mark maybe, but we're getting to towards the end of that. His strength is not going to be there so much against a late game Storm Spirit and Lifestealer.
Yeah, I think it's still alright for them because Na'Vi doesn't have really the strongest late game heroes. Lifestealer and Storm, not the highest DPS later on.
And you've got Elder Titan, which always makes all your damage just hurt a lot more.
Elder Titan just makes the other weaker carries deal more damage later on just because of the aura.
Ooh, arrow bottom, Havos. That's some good reflexes. He's going to turn this one around. ars-art's got no way out of this one. Is there a 4-star from anyone? No, there's not. Dendy going to find NS as well. He's going to be the next to take a fall. Virtus Pro going to lose 2 for nothing here. And this is where Virtus Pro not having any 4-stars can kind of hurt them. They need those 4-stars to just deal with Havos, well, deal with all of Na'Vi. Na'Vi going to zip in again. This time it's on Blow Your Brain. Blow Your Brain on the Viper. He's going to get focused down. Ooh, just barely, actually. And now there's going to be another Fiend's Grip going out on G.
One by one, they're killing everybody.
Na'Vi just have a great lineup for picking heroes off one by one, and they're going to complete the team wipe here. Light of Heaven gets cogs up. He's going to be brought down as well. This should be your GG. Team wiped in their own base. Na'Vi can now focus the Raxes. They're just getting too big, too farm to fail.
Dire's
Yeah, they're just so far ahead at this position. Virtus.pro can barely do anything. And the fight at bottom started so well for Na'Vi because of the ward inside Virtus.pro base placed by Na'Vi that saw their rotation towards bottom lane. So Na'Vi was completely ready for that fight. They knew the supports were coming to try and gank hovers, and everything was set up just in time so that they could just turn the fight around right as soon as they tried to kill hovers.
Well, Na'Vi going to finish off the bottom rack as they can swing mid as well. Still 3 heroes dead for another 15 seconds. And it looks like this game 1 is in the bag for Na'Vi. The TECHLABS winner bracket semi-final. If they win this, they go into the winner bracket final against Team Empire. That match will be later on today. I believe in about four hours time or so. But right now, Na'Vi have to finish off Virtus.pro. Game 1 seems to be in the bag, but Virtus.pro, have to see if they have anything to say about game number 2, or possibly even game 1. They're going for one last hurrah here. They try and initiate in, but the mech, the pipe, this is negating a lot of the chain frost damage. Puppey goes down to a finger of death coming up from line. One of the first fingers I think we've seen all game long in Virtus.pro. They've lost 3. It's going to become 4 as Light of Heaven gets brought down here in the bottom lane. And now finally, Virtus.pro, they GG out. It was a decent game from Virtus.pro, but Na'Vi just too much just mobility around the map, it felt like.
Yeah, they totally abused the fact that Virtus.pro heroes, they weren't really mobile, and Na'Vi heroes, like you mentioned, were really good at getting in, starting the fight and getting out of the fight and moving around the map really quickly. And not to mention the efficient jungling from the Venomancer was also a really strong point compared to the Virtus.pro supports, which can't really farm as quick as the Veno.
Yeah, it definitely felt like Veno being just so efficient. And Na'Vi as a whole were efficient because they just use these mind games. Like, they would have heroes solo pushing lanes, but Virtus.pro were too scared to gank them because with a Storm Spirit, a Clockwork, and a Lifestealer who can infest into one of those 2 heroes, you can't really gank if you're Virtus.pro unless you're ganking as 5. So these heroes like Venomancer, Clockwork were solo pushing lanes when they had no one backing them up just because Virtus.pro were too scared about where the Storm Spirit was on the map.
Yeah, and I think that one of the few crucial things that gave them such a good early lead was the way they played the early game, where they had the Bane starting out in middle at the first minute, casting 4 Amphibials on the Mirana so that the Storm has a really good start, and he was just the driving force later on after he had the first blood. And that was a bit fortunate because he didn't die to the first blood initially, and he got the first blood in return later on.
It could have been a very different game if Virtus.pro get the first blood, as well as that regen rune not being there, because that regen rune allowed the Bane to get off like 2 extra enfeebles possibly. He had the clarity, sure, but he hung around for a lot longer just because of that regen rune.
Yeah, I think without the regen rune, the Bane, Kuroki would have just casted maybe just 1 enfeeble and return to his lane, or even max 2 enfeebles and have his clarity running and just walking back to his lane at bottom.
Because of the regional, some free people. But as it is, Na'Vi take game 1, guys. We're going to be back with game number 2 shortly. Myself, Winter, we're your casters for this series, and Na'Vi versus Virtus.pro game 2 will be coming up after a quick break.